You are watching The Pretty Fix, and I am celebrity makeup artist Melissa Murdock, here to teach you everything that you want to know about makeup. Why am I qualified to do that? It's because I've been doing makeup for over 16 years. So unlike most people making YouTube videos, I am an actual pro and I have real answers to your questions. This tutorial is all about makeup brushes. It is truly a makeup brush 101. I'm going to go over which makeup brushes you need to own and which you can probably skip. And I'm also going to tell you the 3 keys to deciphering any brush. These are the things that make a difference in you being able to know what that brush is for and how it is used. Basically, you're gonna be able to tell how that brush can help you if you need it or not. So let's get into it. Now, the obvious reason that makeup brushes are so confusing and overwhelming is because number 1, you don't know what to do with them, and number 2, there are a million out there. But I have good news for you. You do not need to own that many makeup brushes to do your makeup well. Yes, brushes will help apply your makeup the best way possible, but you don't have to own 50 of them. Really, a handful of brushes is all you need for day to day. As long as you've got something to apply your foundation and concealer, something to apply powder, a brush for your blush, and then brushes that help you with your eyeshadow, and if you use it, eyeliner, you are good to go. You just have to have what you need for your personal makeup routine. You can write down every single makeup product you use in your daily routine and make sure that you get the brush that works with that. So if you are only using one eyeshadow, maybe you only need 1 or 2 eyeshadow brushes. If you don't ever wear blush, don't buy a blush brush. It's kind of common sense. The first thing that you need to know about makeup brushes is what they are made out of, because that will clue you into what they are used for. The first type of brush is a natural hair brush. Natural hair means it's made out of pony or something similar, you know, made out of hair. And the reason that's important is because hair naturally has a wavy pattern to it that once you pick up a product, will work its way into the brush, be held within that wavy pattern, and then very gradually release as you're using the brush. So if you're using this for blush, every time you touch your cheek, a little more blush will come out of the brush. Synthetic brushes are the next type of brush, which means this is made out of a completely plastic fiber. The reason that is important is because plastic fibers are completely smooth, so they're not as good as natural hair brushes at holding onto that product. They will pick up a product and release it very smoothly, very quickly. This is pretty ideal for when you're working with liquid or cream products because it just won't hold on to powder as well. The last substance a brush can be made out of is duo fiber, which means it has both natural hair bristles and synthetic bristles on top. These are ideal for also working with liquid and cream products that you want to kind of work into the skin a little bit more. Because the bristles are more sparsely distributed, you're gonna be using a little less product, but I feel like most people stick to natural hair or synthetic. Now let's get into the 3 keys that are gonna help you determine what a brush does and how to use it. Those 3 keys are the brush size, the brush shape, and the brush density. Brush size is exactly what it sounds like. When you are looking at a brush, it is sized for whatever particular area it is designed to be used in. This is a foundation brush, and this is a concealer brush. Why? They both look the same shape, but they're different sizes. That's because a foundation brush is larger to cover a larger area. Obviously, if you were trying to cover your whole face with this little teeny brush, it'll work, but it ain't gonna be the best way. So, you choose a brush sized to the area you are working on. The next thing that is going to be the biggest clue about how to use any makeup brush is the brush's shape. When you're looking at a makeup brush, you need to analyze what the edge of that brush is like. This is obviously a more rounded edge brush This one has more of a dome edge. So most of the surface area on this brush is actually on the edge. So that indicates that you are going to use that part of the brush wherever it is that you use it. This is typically a crease brush. You could blend onto the eyelid a little bit with it, but you're using that domed edge. Whereas on this brush, because it is more of a flat brush, you're going to use that flat side of the brush and then turn it on its edge a little bit if you need to. I hope that starts to make a little bit of sense to you. Part of the reason that there are different shapes is just personal preference. It doesn't mean you need all these brushes. And to be honest, it is gonna take some trial and error for you to figure out which brush shapes you like best. An obvious example of this would be for eyeliner brushes. Some people are going to like this more angled style. They feel like that gives them more control along their lash line. Some people are gonna prefer a standard eyeliner brush which comes to a point. The last factor that is going to give you all the clues that you need about your makeup brush is how densely packed the fibers of that brush are. This is perfectly illustrated in these two eyeshadow brushes, where obviously this one is very fluffy and this one is densely packed. A densely packed brush is going to pick up more color and also concentrate that color in a smaller area as it's applied. A larger, fluffier brush is going to pick up less product and it's going to just diffusely wash that color wherever you apply it. If you are doing a sheer wash of eyeshadow from your lid all the way up to your brow, which are you going to use? This dense guy or this fluffy guy? Probably this fluffy guy. The last thing to keep in mind is that when you're brush shopping, not only do you not need to worry about what every single makeup brush is used for, you also just need to expand your brush collection slowly. Keep in mind that if you buy a new makeup product, you need to think about whether or not you have a brush that will work with that product or if you need to buy a new one. For example, if you are getting a brand new highlighter, you're gonna wanna find a brush that is going to be sized to fit your cheekbone, maybe going down the bridge of your nose and a little on your chin. And you probably want that brush to not be too densely packed because you're not trying to get a stripe, you want just a nice, soft glow. This is how you can choose your brushes from now on. Also keep in mind, you don't have to use brushes for their traditional purpose. An example of this is my favorite powder brush, which is actually an eyeshadow brush. I don't like to overly powder, so I don't want a big fluffy brush that goes all over the face. I want a small brush that I can use just to brush on a little powder in that area, and it's not traditional. So ignore what it says on the handle. If this says eyeshadow brush, it's okay, you can use it for another purpose. That is all there is to it. That is all you need to know about makeup brushes. If you still have any questions, please comment them below. I am happy to answer your questions for you. I am the type of person you should be getting your information about makeup from. Also, if this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I have so much more pro makeup knowledge coming your way. And also head over to my full site, theprettyfix.com, where I do weekly makeup advice. I post my upcoming online makeup workshops and so much more.